Welcome to willnjen.com, podcasting to you from a caravan, in a paddock, surrounded by mountains on the South Island of New Zealand. Well, hello everyone, welcome to Will and Jen's podcast number 39. Now, as you can see, this is something a little bit different in a podcast. This is going to be our first video podcast, and it's been 2 years since we started doing podcasting, and so we thought we could do with something a little bit different on this special occasion when we're building our house, as you can see. So let's have a look. I thought a video podcast would be the perfect opportunity to show you around what's happening with the house so far, and we'll be able to show you other things in future podcasts as the house gets built. So let's have a look at the house. Coming down here, this is the garage, and basically the garage is ready for the concrete to be poured on Tuesday. It's currently Sunday morning, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, it's still -2 degrees, so it's quite nippy. But the garage is ready for the concrete to be poured on Tuesday. And what we've got is 2 layers of concrete blocks. Now what first happened was a trench was dug, and into that trench a whole bunch of steel went in, and the steel was all sort of tied together and was coming up out of the trench. And then concrete was poured in that trench and was levelled to be perfectly level, and that gives you a good starting foundation to the house build. On top of that, the concrete blocks were laid, and the steelwork was bent over into the middle with the other steelwork put on top. I forgot to mention that the whole thing was filled below this sort of level of plastic. So you've got plastic and then steelwork. Below the plastic is coarse fill, basically just fine sort of sand, and that sand was dumped in here by a truck, flattened out and packed down to be nice and flat. Plastic went on top, steelwork goes on top of that. So when the concrete gets poured on Tuesday, it'll come up to this height here. As you can see, there's this is where a door will be, and you'll see there's two garage doors over there as well. So this will be the garage. Now let's go and have a look at something a little bit more exciting than the garage. Let's go and have a look at the house. Well, this is the house. Pretty much the garage was back over there, sort of between the house and the caravan, and then this is the house here. The house is long and skinny, and it's kind of a couple of days behind the build process for the garage. So as you can see, there's the same concrete blocks down here with the steelwork coming up, and this is what it was like in the garage as well. I forgot to say that concrete was poured inside these concrete blocks to fully stabilise them. And then on the inside of the concrete there's polystyrene, and the polystyrene's there as to insulate and increase the sort of thermal capabilities of the building. So what will happen on Monday or Tuesday is that this steel will get bent over into the middle, plastic will get put down same as before, and then steelwork on top, and then this will be ready for pouring of the concrete. This looks quite high, but in reality ground level is about there, and so once all the dirt's been put back around the house, you won't see all of these concrete blocks. And in fact, in the front of the house here there will be a big deck, and that deck will hide all of this anyway. The deck's going to come up flush to the inside of the floor, and there'll be big opening doors, and so you get a real indoor-outdoor flow that's quite common in New Zealand. One of the things that does need to happen in the house, which doesn't need to happen in the garage, is things like underfloor heating and pipes need to go in. And this afternoon, that's what Jenny and I are going to be doing, is it's all been marked out by the plumber where little trenches need to be dug. It'll be fairly easy digging because this is just sand, but we'll dig out all those trenches and get it ready so that tomorrow, on Monday morning, he'll come along and he'll put in all the pipe work. Obviously, like I say, then the plastic gets put down, and then this will be ready for pouring. The current thinking is that this will be poured on Wednesday. So by Wednesday, we'll have both a garage and a house with a concrete, slab. And that means you're up out of the dirt. and the good thing about that is that then the rammed earth can start. Let me show you a bit of the rammed earth. Now, I hope you can see from this angle that the front of the house kind of steps out, and what there'll be 7 big rammed earth pillars, and each pillar will be about that wide and be about this long, I suppose, and they'll be going up to 3.5 meters, and there'll be the 7 pillars. 7 pillars of wisdom. Who's Lawrence of Arabia, sorry. I digress. But as you can see, the pillars kind of step out as they go further along the house, and you can see that you can sort of see that the concrete work also had to step out as it went along the house. Well, that's about all I'm going to show you for today, because I want to keep these video podcasts down to a manageable length so different people can download them. But I hope you've enjoyed having a quick look at the sort of build process of our house. Next podcast, which will, let's say, will be in a couple of weeks' time, all going well, touch wood, if I can find some, there'll be some big pillars here to see. And the only thing that's maybe standing a little bit in the way of that is the chap who's building the pillars, his wife's about to have a baby. So if she does, it could be delayed by a couple of weeks. But the builders will have things to go on with, because they could start framing up the garage. We're really, really happy with the speed of the build, with the professionalism of all the people involved, and with the good feeling that's going along with the building of our house. The builders love coming out here. They bring their dogs during the day. As you can see, and those of you who have visited us, it's a beautiful spectacle to sort of sit around. At lunchtime they have a barbecue. They've got a little area set up over there with a barbecue and a couple of deck chairs, and they sit there having their barbecue lunches, and all in all it's a sort of a really good sort of feeling about this build. So that's all for the moment. Will and Jen's video podcast number 39. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Bye bye.